Well, good morning, everyone, and I want to welcome you to the Finance of America Wholesale Mortgage VA Jumbo webinar. Today we'll be discussing a product overview of the VA Jumbo Loan. So while you are getting logged in, I'm going to go through some housekeeping information. First of all, you will be able to listen either by calling in or by listening on your computer. There's instructions that I'm showing on my screen. If you have any difficulty getting logged in, let me know. And then we will be able to answer questions as we go along. We do have a lot of information we're covering today, so I'm going to save questions till the end. And if there's any that I cannot address myself, we will refer you to your Finance of America account executive, and they can help you to answer any loan scenarios or anything specific regarding any qualifications. So we do have the slide deck that's available. I'm posting that right now in the chat box. And that's where you're going to ask questions. If you have questions today, two different ways, either in the chat box or in the Q&A box. So both of those will allow you to ask questions, make comments, and also let me know that you can hear me. So if you can type in the chat box or the Q&A box and let me know that you can hear me. And I'm getting you trained. I always ask how the weather is, although I'm not happy about the weather here in Oregon today. It's cloudy and drizzly and cold, and I think winter is upon us. So one of those things. Looks like it's dreary across the country as well. I know the East Coast is getting hit with a lot of that rain that was left over from hurricanes. So hopefully the sun will be out this weekend and we can enjoy this last little bit of fall. I know that the leaves are absolutely beautiful across the country where I've been. So Cheryl, the weather in Fresno is fabulous. It's always fabulous there, right? So I will be sending out follow-up. If you can't access the slide deck, I'm going to post that again because I know some of you are getting logged in right now. Just click on that link. You can download the slide deck. That's a slide deck you will want to download because I have a lot of examples in it for you. So if you want to go back and look at those, you can do that. I'm also recording the webinar today, and I'll be sending that out in an email tomorrow that'll come to you if you're registered for the webinar. So you can go back and listen to it. And then we also post all of our webinars and all of our material in the FAMU portal that we have, the Finance of America Online University. There's also a great VA certification. I know the VA webinar we did last week, I had a couple of you send me emails wanting to get more information on how to do VA. And we have a complete VA certification program that goes through a lot of details, and that's available in FAMU as well. So my name is Ginger Bell. I'm an education specialist with GoTo Training. I work with Finance of America to bring education to you, our Finance of America clients. And so I want to thank all of you for being on the webinar today. And you know, the VA Jumbo is a product, like a lot of VA home loan products, that is completely underutilized. In fact, I was having a conversation just yesterday with a director from a VA organization, a nonprofit that provides scholarships for veteran spouses and children. And he said, "Wow, I just got a VA loan, and I was discouraged. I just got a home, and he didn't use his VA benefit because he was discouraged by his originator as well as his real estate agent not to use that." And I absolutely hate hearing that because, as I shared with him, it's a benefit that you have earned, and it's one that's very powerful. And so one of our goals is to be able to provide education and resources and understanding of the VA home loan, and specifically on the VA Jumbo, because it does provide a significant benefit when you compare it with the conventional jumbo loan. And I've got some great examples that we're going to go through to be able to really share that. And so if you're talking to a veteran, I would really encourage you to do a comparison between the VA and between the other options that are out there, because it can really help them to decrease what they need to bring in for their down payment, as well as give them a great interest rate. So definitely something that you want to put into your arsenal and make sure that you're using it. There's great power in the VA Jumbo. First of all, there's more relaxed guidelines than what could be available in conforming. Obviously, a lower down payment opportunities and great purchasing power for those who are qualified veterans. So, what's considered a jumbo loan? The VA runs under their own specific rules regarding county limits on VA loan limits. Anything that's above 453,100 is a jumbo loan. So, regardless of the VA's county limit, anytime a veteran wants a loan that's greater than that amount, the 453,100, which is where we're at right now, they're likely looking at some type of jumbo financing. And so with VA, there's really no true limits for VA loans. Veterans can get VA loans upwards of $1 million or more, and that's above the standard county loan limits. Those are known as VA jumbo loans. And the great thing is there's no limits. So that represents no caps. You can help your borrowers to be able to get into those loans that maybe they couldn't qualify on a conforming. So, oh, I'm getting something from someone. Michael, you say there's no audio. So you can either dial, well, I'm not going to be able to tell you. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm going to type this in here. You can call in or log in. Sorry. Bear with me a second. I'm going to make sure that they can hear. Make sure that you all, I also want to know if you all can hear me. Make sure you haven't lost me. Yes, Gina says I can hear you. Okay, great. Okay, so Michael, looks like you got logged in. Kyle, thank you. Okay, so we'll go back to our regular scheduled program here. So the VA, as I said, has no caps, gives you an opportunity to really, especially if you're in those areas where the loan limits are higher. And so we're going to talk about some examples with that. FAM Wholesale will loan up to 4 times a veteran's available entitlement without a down payment. And that's provided that the veteran is income and credit qualified, obviously, and the property appraises for the asking price. And I'm going to go through some scenarios on what that looks like using entitlement. So for the VA jumbo loan down payment, whether your borrower needs a down payment for a VA jumbo loan will depend on a couple of different things. The first thing that we're going to look at is the county loan limit. And the second thing is how much VA loan entitlement that they have. And in the VA, there are 2 different types of entitlement. There's the basic entitlement and there's the bonus entitlement. So let's look at what both of those look like. Under the basic entitlement, VA guarantees 25% of the loan amount up to $144,000 or $36,000, whichever is less. Under the bonus entitlement, VA covers 25% of the national conforming loan limit of $453,100 and the VA guarantee covers 25% of the county loan limits that exceed the national conforming loan limit of $453,100. And I'm going to go into an example of what that looks like. Eligibility for both is 90 days consecutive service during wartime, 181 days during peacetime, more than 6 years of service in the National Guard or Reserves, or a spouse of a veteran who died in the line of duty or as a result of a service-connected disability. So those are the eligibility requirements for both the basic and the bonus entitlement. So let's look at an example. So let's say your borrowers received their certificate of eligibility and they're ready to start shopping for a VA loan. You're not looking for, they're not looking for anything extravagant, just a nice starter home. And they found a house with a sales price. We made a nice even amount here, $100,000. So how it works is the VA guarantee covers 25% or $36,000, whichever is less of the loan amount, up to $144,000. So in this case, your borrower would only use $25,000 of their basic entitlement. 25% of $100,000 equals $25,000. So this would leave $11,000 remaining in their basic entitlement. Simple math here, $36,000 minus $25,000. They'd have $11,000 left of their basic entitlement. So your borrower is free to use as much of their basic entitlement as they need to buy a home, but they can only borrow up to $144,000 using their basic entitlement. So in this case, they're good to go. But the question is, what if your borrower wants to buy a house in a state where homes rarely sell for $100,000? And that's probably just about every state that we're in. There are some states you can find those homes for $100,000. I wish I lived in one of those. Unfortunately, I don't. But more often than not, those are the scenarios we're running into. So the question is, can they still borrow using their entitlement? And the answer is absolutely yes. And that is where your bonus entitlement enters into the mix. Since the median home sale price in the US is more than $300,000, the VA provides a second layer of coverage, also known as a second tier entitlement, or what's called a bonus entitlement. So, what is a bonus entitlement? The VA determines the bonus entitlement by using the National Conventional Financing Conforming Loan Limit established by the Federal Housing Finance Agency. It's what we're very used to. So in 2018, they kept the loan limit the same as what it was in 2017, which is $453,100. And this is how the bonus entitlement works. Since the VA typically covers 25% of the loan amount and its guarantee, the calculation used to determine the bonus entitlement is 25% of $453,100. This equals to $113,275. What the VA then does is they subtract that amount, the $113,275 from the basic entitlement, which is $36,000. So it gives your borrower a second tier entitlement, which is $77,275. So most lenders, including Finance of America, allow your borrower to borrow up to 4 times their entitlement. So you would then multiply what they have in their entitlement with the bonus entitlement subtracted from the basic entitlement, and that would give a bonus entitlement loan limit of $309,100. So you multiply the $77,274 by 4, and that gives us the amount of $309,000. $309,100. Get it right, Ginger. You then add the $144,000 loan limit from their basic entitlement to the $309,100 loan limit from their bonus entitlement. So we're taking both, and that gives a total of $453,100. And it just so happens that that total is exactly the same as the national conforming loan limit. So that's for our conforming loan limit. But what happens about high-cost states? Now, we know there are several states, the United States, that are known as high-cost areas. And if you're on this call, you probably live in one of those, and that's why we're looking at jumbo loans. And the median home sales price in San Francisco topped $1.6 million in May of 2018, according to some recent data that was released by Paragon Real Estate Group. And so when you're looking at that and working with your veterans, it's important to know how all of this works together for your state county loan limits, because the bonus entitlement is actually tied to your state's county loan limits. And so even though the national loan limit is $453,100, each county in the United States has their own loan limits that are established by the Federal Housing Administration. So because of the high cost of living in several locations, some county loan limits are higher than the national limit. We know this, right? As the cost of buying a home in these high-cost locations continue to rise, so does the veteran's entitlement amount. And that's really the idea behind the bonus entitlement, is to give all veterans a chance at home ownership no matter where they live. And remember, the VA doesn't restrict the amount of money your borrower can borrow. Finance of America provides some of the best jumbo VA home loan options out there. And I'm going to go through a couple of examples, and then we're going to actually get into some of the guidelines with you. So let's look at an example with no down payment, where a veteran could come in and they can borrow on a jumbo and not have to make a down payment. So we have a veteran with full entitlement that's wanting to purchase a $500,000 home in a county where the loan limit is $525,000. They would not have to worry about the down payment because it's within that county limit. The loan size definitely in jumbo territory, but it's also below the VA county loan limit. So using the scenario we went through on using their basic entitlement and their bonus entitlement, they would not have to put a down payment on a jumbo loan. Let's go and look at an example with a down payment. So let's say, for example, your borrower is using their entitlement for the very first time. So they have complete access to it. And they live in Honolulu, Hawaii. Not a bad place to live. I'm thinking it looks pretty good today. The loan limit in Honolulu, Hawaii is actually the highest in the country. It's $721,000 and $721,050. It is the highest in the area. Most of the contiguous United States is $679,250 for our high-cost areas. So I'm using this example just to show you what you can do with a VA jumbo. So let's take a look at this. Your borrower finds a home for $900,000. In Hawaii, this is, and actually across the country, this is well above the county limit. But using their entitlement in Hawaii, because of the county loan limit of $721,050, the VA will guarantee 25% of that county loan limit, which is $180,263. The VA will then divide the total entitlement of the $180,263 by the loan amount of $900,000 to determine how much it will guarantee. So when you do that and you divide the total of $180,263 by $900,000, it gives us 20.29%. Now remember, the VA will cover 25% of your borrower's loan amount. So that's 25% of $900,000. That equals $225,000. So follow me on this. Since the loan amount is above the county limit, $900,000, the VA will subtract the $225,000 from their basic and bonus entitlement of $180,263. So what this leaves us with is a total of $44,300. Looks like I missed a 7 there. $44,737. So to buy the home at $900,000 in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii, using a VA home loan, your borrower would need to make a down payment of $44,737. That is it. When you compare that with most conventional jumbo loans, it's not uncommon for a borrower to need to put 10 to 20% down for a down payment. In our example, it could be anywhere from $90,000 to $180,000. And with a VA loan, they only have to bring less than $45,000. So the VA jumbo offers a huge benefit for qualified veterans. And it's important to remember this is no MI, so there's no mortgage insurance on this loan. Now, if you need to check county loan limits in your area, I've included the link. This is effective until January 1st, 2018. hopefully they'll keep those into 2019. But this is how you can check to see what the county loan limits are in your area. And remember, the required down payment could increase if the borrower already used some of their loan entitlement. So it's important to check with your borrowers, see if they have used their entitlement before. So now let's go and let's move into some VA and VA jumbo and some conforming jumbo comparisons. In this example, we're taking a California property, purchase 720 credit score, and it's an $850,000 purchase price. So when we look at our VA jumbo loan, the loan amount is $807,400. That's 95% LTV. The required down payment is $42,600. And so what we did is take that $850,000 minus the $679,650, which equals $170,350, and we multiplied that by 25. So we took the amount minus what the high cost loan limit is in that area. That gave us our entitlement, multiplied it by 25%, which was the $42,600 rounded up. So that's what they're bringing in for their down payment. The rate that was available today through Finance of America is 5.5%, and that would mean monthly P&I payment of $4,653 on an $400,000 loan amount. So let's look at this comparison when we compare it with a jumbo, just a standard jumbo conforming product. So this is the best no MI 95% jumbo available through Finance of America. The loan amount, same amount, $807,400, and same LTV, 95%, same required down payment, $42,500. That rate would be 8.5%, and that's the best rate that's available with no MI. You compare that with their monthly payment, which is $6,208. Now, when you pencil this out and you show a comparison to your veterans, why would you not put them on a VA jumbo loan? Why would they not choose a VA jumbo loan? Now, there's options out there. And we gave another scenario here using if the veteran decides, hey, I want to put 10% down. So, okay, we're going to add another $42,400 to their down payment. So now we have a 90% jumbo that's available, lowered our loan amount to $765,000. Required payment for down payment has gone up to $85,000. The best rate that's available on this, on a 90% jumbo loan, is 6.5%, which gives a payment, monthly payment, $4,835. Guys, that's still $182 more per month than the 5% down for a jumbo VA option. And again, go through these scenarios. How many times do you do this and say, let's look at a comparison? Take the time to do that. It's a great opportunity for you to be able to position yourself as being able to give them options and then let them see how powerful their VA benefit can be. I've got another VA jumbo and conforming comparison, and this is on a Texas property. Again, a purchase, 720 credit score, and we're looking at a $600,000 purchase price. Here's our VA jumbo at 5.5%, that's priced, no monthly MI. We're looking at 93.88% LTV with their full entitlement. Their down payment would be $36,725, which would give them a monthly payment of $3,198. We compare that to our 90% jumbo, and that rate is priced out at 7% with no monthly MI. They have a 90% LTV, but they're bringing more money in, and so their down payment is $60,000. Their monthly payment is $3,000 $593, which you look at this, it's a difference, first of all, of $23,275 in down payment and a difference of $395 a month in their monthly payment. So again, you have qualified veterans, make sure and look at providing them with an option of comparing it on the VA Jumbo and with the standard jumbo loan. And remember, our VA Jumbo loans have no mortgage insurance. So they're going to benefit by not having that added mortgage insurance in there. Okay, now let's look at some of the Finance of America VA Plus guidelines. And we have our purchase guidelines up here, rate and term refinance, cash out refinance, and the IRRRLs. And so I'm not going to go through each of these scenarios. You can print this off, but you can see when you're looking at your purchase credit scores, what you're able to do on a lot of those. Not on your rate and term, what you can do on those. You know, going down on a jumbo to a 620 credit score on a purchase, 660 on a rate and term refinance. Our cash out are ineligible on the jumbo for many of those. And again, look at your loan limits and the property types. Remember, it's owner occupied only for a VA. So when you're looking at this scenario, go through that. And the nice thing about going through one of these scenarios is you are not going alone. You have your account executives at Finance of America are here to help you going through what are the qualifications, what are the options, looking at the different opportunities that Finance of America offers for your borrowers. On the jumbo loan amounts, 30-year fixed and 5/1 ARMs are available. On our jumbo extra large, which are loan amounts that are $1.5 million to $2.5 million, only available on a 30-year fixed. So again, if you are in some of those high-cost areas, the VA Jumbo is definitely one that you want to look at. And there's options available between the VA Jumbo and the Jumbo Extra Large, which are the higher loan amounts. Maximum debt to income ratio is 43% regardless of your automated findings. 30-year fixed on your Jumbo XL. No manual underwrites. Tax transcripts are required for all of your income sources. Your LTV and CLTV is 90% and are 0 times 30 for the past 12 months for all trade lines. So this is on the Jumbo XL. These are for your high loan amounts, so $1.5 million to $2.5 million. And you look at, okay, veterans, there are lots of different types of veterans out there. And you may have a veteran who is involved in maybe high tech that would be looking at a Jumbo XL. You may be looking at having a veteran who's a doctor that has the income to be able to buy a home for $1.5 million. So our veterans come in all shapes and sizes, all kinds of income, all kinds of different jobs that they do, businesses that they do. So think outside the box and don't just think about the veteran that's, coming back from serving. Veterans, no matter when they served, at what time in their life they are right now, the VA loan offers them opportunities. And so when you move on to credit, no bankruptcies or foreclosures within the last 7 years, no housing lates in the past 12 months, and deed restrictions are not acceptable on VA jumbo loan transactions. For down payments, we just went through some scenarios for you as far as being able to use the VA jumbo and looking at how to calculate that down payment amount. For loan amounts that are exceeding the conforming loan limit, and that's inclusive of the funding fee, the amount of the entitlement and down payment must equal at least 25% of the property's purchase price or notification of value, or NOV, whichever is less. Gift funds are not allowed, so they need to be their own funds. And mortgage credit certificates are not permitted for mortgage qualification purposes. They may use a mortgage credit certificate for tax purposes only. Now, when you're looking at working with realtors, one of the best advantages of working with realtors is what we have with Finance of America that's called the Rock Solid Offer. And this provides you with an opportunity to go to your real estate agent and say, I can get you a pre-approval for your borrower, for your person that's looking on buying a home, and I can get you a rock solid offer with a lender approved approval. And we all know that real estate agents today know the difference between a pre-qualification and a full lender approval. And I do a lot of training for realtors, and I know one of the first things that they say, if they get an approval in from something like a Rocket Mortgage, that somebody's filled something out online, that they don't want that because garbage in, garbage out. We know that. So being able to go to your real estate agents and say, I'm giving you a rock solid lender approved approval here, where they're going to actually go in and have an underwriting option to be able to offer to the buyers, knowing that when they're going out and looking at properties that they have been approved. And so you want to work with your Finance of America account executive to be able to get an approval done on a TBD, because that lender approval comes with verified income and verified assets. So it's a Viva La TBD. And if you have not used this, and it's not just available in the VA, it's on any loan product, you want to talk to your Finance of America account executive and see about being able to provide your rock solid offers to your real estate agents. So one of the things you want to do, and we talk about this in all of the webinars that we do, is be the expert. Last week we talked about being able to put together a purchase offer that gets accepted for a VA, and how you can work with your borrowers and your real estate agents to be able to get those offers accepted. And again, I was talking to, as I said earlier, someone about they just bought a home, they're a veteran, they were encouraged not to use their VA home loan benefit. And it saddens me so much to hear that, because that kind of information comes from someone who is A, lazy in my opinion, B, doesn't respect the opportunity and what this person has earned, which is their right to be able to use their VA home loan benefit, and they're uneducated. So it's our job, it's our responsibility to be able to educate realtors in your areas, to be able to let them know what the VA is about and what that opportunity offers. Because in the VA jumbo home loan, they can get into a home that they might not be able to qualify for in a conforming loan, or they may have to put the 10 or 20% down. So they're going to get into their savings if they have that. And as we saw in our examples, it's a higher interest rate. So you're offering them the best of everything, to have the lower down payment, the lower interest rate, no MI, and to be able to utilize a benefit that they have truly earned. So think about the things that you can do in your area, whether it's educating realtors in your area, going and conducting lunch and learns at various companies and organizations within your area. How many of you work with Chamber of Commerce? I know I used to do a lot of training with Chamber of Commerce, and they hold monthly meetings, and they're always looking for speakers to come in. The Rotary, any kind of leads groups, any place that you can go to be able to share the information and provide that education, you should be doing. This is the time when our industry starts changing, and we're obviously moving to more of a purchase market, that you need to think about ways to stand out and being able to be the expert, especially on like a VA jumbo loan. If you are in an area that is for high jumbo loans, then you want to be able to do that. So look at the different partners that you have to be able to do that. Yes, and Frank's reminding us we have non-branded flyers that we can provide that they can use, and we'll talk about that in a minute. What I want to encourage you to do is look for ways to stand out and relate. And one of the things that I love is a certification that's out there that is provided by USA Cares, and it allows you to go through their online training. So it gives you education as well, and you can receive a certificate. And so that certificate you can actually go and place on your marketing. You can be able to use that with your realtor, saying that you're certified, or why not do it along with your realtors? It's an online course. They do ask for a donation. I think the minimum donation they ask for is $25, which is a small amount to pay for a certification like this. But look at ways that you can stand out. The other thing I encourage you to do is get involved. An organization I recently got involved with, I had a call with them yesterday to talk about ways that we can get involved as an industry with Folds of Honor. It's an organization I had never heard about. I was fortunate to be able to find out about them last month. I'm working on a documentary with them. They provide scholarships for military spouses and children. And that's so important today, to be able to help our next generation, to be able to build through education, through getting their degrees. And this provides scholarships for those who probably wouldn't be able to go to school unless this organization existed. So think about ways to get involved. I know they have chapters across the country. I talked to them yesterday about setting up a special chapter for the mortgage industry. They don't have anything like that. I said, you know what? Let's talk about it. I think it's a great way to be able to get involved and to stand out. Wounded Warrior Project we know about. It's an excellent organization. It was developed after September 11th, and it helps warriors who have some kind of a physical or mental injury, illness, or wound. And so there's lots of different ways that you can get involved with your organization. But create a VA campaign. Think about the things you're doing. Whether you're posting on a blog, whether you're doing webinars like this is a great thing to do. Real estate agents want to be able to get onto webinars. And, if you don't know how to do a webinar, you've never done a lunch or learn, let me know, because those are things that we can teach you how to do. What you need to do, be able to work with your realtors. And so I'm going to send you afterwards. We have a VA Realtor slide deck, goes through. It's a very basic VA webinar, a slide deck that you can use on a webinar. You can use it for in-person meetings. You can personalize the slide deck. But there's great power in education. How many of you are doing that right now? How many of you are going out on a regular basis and conducting education? Type in the chat box, type in the Q&A, and let me know. And then what are some of the other things that we can help you to be able to build your business? Would you like to know how to do a webinar? Would you like to know, how to do social media? Would you like to know how to post on your blog? Are those the kind of things? Let your account executives know on the things that we can help you with. And if you already got it nailed down, say, hey, Ginger, I got this. So we just appreciate the information. But we want to make sure that you have all the resources available. And that's why within Finance of America, we have a variety of non-branded flyers that you can go in and personalize and use as your own. Why we create slide decks for you to be able to do that. I know we're talking about in November, we're doing, we're calling it Renovember, and I'm excited. We're going to be sending out some information on that soon. But we talked about being able to do webinars for your real estate agents. So would that be helpful to be able to do a webinar for your real estate agents on the VA Jumbo? Type in there yes or no. Type in your chat box, type in your Q&A if that sounds interesting for you, to be able to have us do some kind of a webinar for your realtors as well. Those are the kind of things to help you to stand out, and that's really the power of everything that you can do being an originator. And remember that we have the Finance of America Rock Solid offer, the Viva La TBD. And this is not just on the VA, it is also on any product that FAM has. But being able to provide that to your real estate agents is very powerful. You can find all the resources in FAMU. So it's www.famu.com. account.fam-u.com. You can contact your Finance of America account executive to get set up with your account. We have certification programs in there on VA, FHA, jumbo, every webinar we've ever done on our seconds, on our renovation loans. It's all available and it's a great resource. So if you're looking for ways to stand out, hop in there, grab some flyers, hop on some training to be able to focus on that. And then think about the things you can do to be able to go out and train and educate your real estate agents using the jumbo. We've covered a lot of information, and so I want to make sure that you do have follow-up. If you do have questions, please contact your Finance of America account executive. They can go through scenarios with you. They can answer questions that you have. They can give you that rock-solid offer. But the most important thing to remember as you're going through talking to your borrowers is ask your borrower, have they served? And if they have served, thank them for their service. And then look at offering them a VA. If you're in an area that you're doing VA jumbos, then do a price comparison. That's an easy thing to go in and do. The scenarios that we went through, we just did those yesterday, and you can see a huge difference of being able to offer the VA jumbo to your borrowers and to allow them to have a lower down payment, a lower monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and to be able to utilize their VA home loan benefit. So I want to thank all of you for being on the webinar today. I'm going to send out a follow-up link that'll have the information. I'm going to actually post the slide deck here real quick. You can just click on that link if you want to download that. I would really recommend it because we did go through a lot of different scenarios, and sometimes when you're looking at math the first time, if you're like me, I have to actually sit down and go through it and understand it. And if you do have any questions, please contact your Finance of America account executive, and they can help you to be able to go through any scenarios that we have. So I want to thank all of you for being on the webinar today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Take care.